We live in a world where the risks of junk food are no longer a mystery. From obesity and diabetes to heart disease and cancer, the dangers of ultra-processed, high-sugar, and high-fat foods are well documented. And yet, despite overwhelming scientific consensus, people continue to eat them regularly, enthusiastically, and often without regret.
Why?
The answer lies not just in biology or willpower, but in the deep psychological and cultural roles these foods play. To address the public health crisis surrounding junk food, we must first understand its emotional power and recognize that solutions rooted only in science or restriction may miss the point entirely. At its core, junk food offers more than just taste. It delivers comfort, nostalgia, convenience, pleasure, and sometimes even identity. A bag of chips isn't just a snack. It might be tied to memories of childhood, a coping mechanism during stress, or a form of social bonding. Ice cream is a reward. Fast food is a symbol of independence or a moment of escape in an otherwise chaotic day. These foods are deeply embedded in our rituals, celebrations, and daily rhythms. To frame them only as toxic threats ignores their very real role in human experience. Psychologically, junk food triggers powerful reward pathways in the brain. Its engineered combinations of sugar, salt, and fat release dopamine, creating feelings of satisfaction and reinforcement. This makes them not just palatable, but habit-forming, especially under conditions of chronic stress, fatigue, or emotional strain. For many, these foods fill a gap that isn't physical hunger, it's emotional depletion, boredom, or the need for control. Telling someone to just stop eating junk food without addressing the emotional context often comes across as tone-deaf or unrealistic. Culturally, junk food is often a marker of belonging or identity. It's woven into holidays, family traditions, and social gatherings. For lower-income communities, it may be the most accessible, affordable, or socially acceptable food option. In some cases, it's a symbol of resistance to elite health narratives that feel judgmental or out of touch. Junk food isn't just consumed, it's defended. And that matters when crafting policies or public health messaging. So what can we do? The answer isn't blind restriction or moralizing. Demonizing junk food can backfire, leading to shame, binge eating, or cultural backlash. Instead, public health must take a more nuanced, culturally aware, and psychologically informed approach, one that acknowledges why people eat what they eat and helps them make better choices without erasing joy or tradition. One strategy is harm reduction. Instead of aiming for total elimination, encourage less frequent consumption, smaller portions, or healthier versions that still deliver the desired sensory experience. This aligns with human psychology. Small, achievable changes are more likely to stick than all-or-nothing goals. A weekly indulgence, enjoyed mindfully, may pose far less risk than daily unconscious snacking, and it avoids the psychological toll of guilt or deprivation. Another is cultural adaptation. Health messaging should be rooted in local customs, languages, and values. Instead of telling communities what not to eat, involve them in conversations about what healthy eating means in their cultural context. Celebrate traditional foods that are nourishing, flavorful, and tied to heritage. Empower local voices to lead health initiatives, rather than importing top-down rules that feel alien or judgmental. Schools, workplaces, and governments also have a role to play by reshaping environments. Make healthy foods more accessible, affordable, and appealing, not just physically but emotionally. If the only comfort food in a school vending machine is candy, we can't expect kids to choose carrots. If workplace stress is high and breaks are short, fast food becomes a default, not a choice. Systems must support, not sabotage, the behaviors we hope to encourage. Finally, we must resist the idea that food choices reflect morality. People are not bad for eating chips or good for choosing salad. Health isn't a purity contest, it's a long, messy, deeply personal process. When public health embraces that complexity, it becomes more effective, more compassionate, and more realistic. In the end, junk food isn't going away, but its grip can be loosened, not by shame or restriction, but by understanding. By respecting food's psychological and cultural roles and offering healthier pathways that honor both science and the human experience, we can begin to find balance. And in that balance, there is real power for change.